So before I go into my dysphoria ramble, which will probably be very long and very dull, I just want to tell you that I came out last week, so my life is about to get a whole lot worse and then a whole lot better. So it's kind of exciting, kind of scary at the same time, but it's pretty cool. So dysphoria. I just wanted to say something in general about dysphoria because when I first adapted the trans label onto me as a person, I didn't know this, that dysphoria, the general word of dysphoria, isn't a transgender word. The thing that transgender people experience is called gender dysphoria. Because dysphoria is any sort of misconnection with your body. So even if you're a female and you know you're a female and you're happy as a female, you can be dysphoric about anything. You can be dysphoric about your height. It's just something you don't like. It's just an insecurity. It's a human thing. But as transgender people, we have it in a different form, which I immediately jumped to using the word worse, but that's obviously not true. Dysphoria comes at any time. Like, some days I can go out of the house and be totally fine and be like, I'm the cutest boy in the whole world, and everybody knows I'm a boy right now. Then other days I can literally go out and, one time I sobbed in the corner of JCPenney, if that makes you feel better, because it's so bad. The worst thing for me is, always, always, always my chest. My chest will always be the worst of me. I don't have a binder that works appropriately at the time being. It used to work really fantastic, but they just get worn out over time. And my mom said she would buy me a new one after I came out, so that's delightful, and that's going to happen. And another thing is the voice. If I'm passing, which I rarely do pass, it's just not something that I do. I don't know what it is. I feel like I try really hard, but I never pass. But on the rare occasion that I am passing, what gives me away is my voice. Every time. Like, when I'm excited, it goes super, super high. Like, I've just always had that my whole life. So, it's a conundrum. It really is. The advantage I have on the dysphoria thing is that I'm big. I'm a big guy. I read a lot on Tumblr. I go for the female to male tag every day. Every day. A lot of guys don't fit into male clothing, which I can't even fathom because sometimes male clothing, I can't find clothing in my size because I'm too big. And these guys are struggling to fit into like extra smalls, and I just feel horrible about that. And I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky to be fat. You don't hear that very often, but I am very comfortable with my size. I like it. And dealing with the dysphoria is the struggly part. I'm not super good at dealing with it. I try my hardest to pass, and I don't really go anywhere. I used to be pretty social, and I used to go to the movies, and I used to go to the mall, and I used to just go out. I used to go for walks around town. I used to ride my bike. But when this whole high school in general happened to me, I sort of became a terrified hermit and didn't leave the house. And from that helps. I hate to say it, but that really helps me personally. Because if no one's looking at me, it's a whole lot better. But you can still be dysphoric in your own bed, because I can tell you that has happened to me a lot. Sometimes your body just doesn't fit. It never fits. Who am I kidding? It's horrible. Not giving very good advice, am I? How I deal with it is, I call my girlfriend, which is crazy. Because, I love her to death, more than anything ever. So if I can talk to her, she can usually get my mind off of anything, most of the time. Unless we're fighting or something silly, but... Just because you're dysphoric doesn't mean you aren't passing. But the hardest part about that is that will never settle into your mind when you're dysphoric. You're gonna be like, oh, everyone thinks I'm a girl. It's awful. So, long story short, dealing with dysphoria is entirely personal. I can tell you how I do it for hours. I really could, but it's not going to help you. You got to find what calms you down, because it's awful. Alright, I'm gonna stop rambling. Bye now.